Hey guys, Bricon here, and in this video I'm going to be doing KFC, which is Warrior Hunter Holy Paladin, versus TSG, which is Warrior Death Knight Holy Paladin. Now before we get into some clips, here's an overview of KFC versus TSG. First off, I believe KFC definitely has the strong advantage over TSG. If they go onto the Death Knight, you can do multiple things like freedom your Death Knight with 2 freedoms since you're using a Holy Paladin. You can pet swap to keep Roar of Sacrifice on him. And if they go onto you, there's still 2 freedoms, and you have a bunch of slows for them since they're melee cleaves. You have the Hunter's Trank Shot to trank it off, the freedom and everything, so basically you could kite pretty well if they go on any of you. Secondly is the managing cooldowns properly. I'm going to go over 3, which are your freedoms, your Roar of Sacrifice, and your Blessing of Protection, which I definitely think are game-breaking cooldowns. First up is the freedoms. You have Master's Call from the Hunter, and you have the typical freedom from the Paladin. You want to make sure to manage them so you don't overlap them, because the more freedom you have and the more you can run without getting kited, the more you'll officiate and everything with that. Next up is Roar of Sacrifice. Roar of Sacrifice is really game-breaking because you're uncritable for 12 seconds. If they go onto your warrior, it's really recommended that you do pet swapping, so just call out another pet and do Roar of Sacrifice on him again. Basically, it'll just keep Roar of Sacrifice up more. If they go onto you though, however, it's more difficult to do it pet swapping wise, but just make sure you manage Roar of Sacrifice well if they're not on you, and look out for crucial cooldowns again if they are on you to use it on yourself or your warrior. Lastly is cooldown awareness. I'm going to go over 4 of them, although there are more cooldowns you have to look for on the team. These 4 are pretty crucial and game breaking. First up is Unholy Frenzy. Unholy Frenzy is a Death Knight ability that he will put on the Paladin, most likely, which he should always, but that can be Trank Shotted off. You actually have to Trank Shot it off from the Paladin, not the Death Knight, although the Death Knight's the one applying it. So either have a focused Trank Shot macro, which I'd probably recommend, or just Trank Shot it off by clicking on the Paladin real quickly. That will definitely save you a lot of time and everything for your CC chains. And then Recklessness. Recklessness is a warrior ability. It increases their damage by a shit ton, so basically you're going to want to look for that and have your warrior preferably disarm him, and make sure if he doesn't have a disarm for some reason, have a Roar of Sacrifice on him, a freedom to try to make sure he kites away from all the damage, because a warrior will put out a lot of damage and a Death Knight's going to be hitting. So basically they're going to be putting out a shit ton of damage during that time. And then another is Blessing of Protection, which we already went over. It's immune to most of your warrior's abilities as well as hunters, so Trank Shot that off as fast as you can. In the clip you'll see that I Trank Shot it off almost immediately, which is pretty nice because you just keep your steady momentum damage on. Pretty self-explanatory and everything, but make sure to look out for that. And then lastly, I'm going to go over Anti-Magic Shell, which is a Death Knight ability. It's a Death Knight ability that absorbs 75% of the damage dealt by harmful spells, and that goes onto the Death Knight. This is pretty much a good time to swap onto the warrior if you're riding the Death Knight, which I recommend as KFC, mainly because I feel like locking down a Death Knight's more important and you stop more damage and you could probably land the kill faster. So if Anti-Magic Shell's up, make sure not to blow any Chimera shots into him or anything, and since your warrior won't be able to hit him strongly, just swap to the warrior if needed. So the game starts off and we're going to start onto the Death Knight right away. The Paladin pops his Hand of Sacrifice on him right there, and I'm going to be able to spell it right there, so I'm going to be able to get a Scatter Trap off. Unfortunately though, I'm not going to notice the Unholy Frenzy in there, but I got the Hand of Sacrifice off. Now notice here that I'm going to be going for a Scatter Trap, so I throw my Scatter Shot onto him, but his Death Knight puts Unholy Frenzy right there as the trap's going off. I'm not able to dispel in time, so the trap breaks right there and I'm not able to get it off. Now since the trap broke, our Paladin's going to run up and Hodge him afterwards, which he's going to bubble because his Death Knight's taking a lot of damage because I've got cooldowns up and my warrior's hitting him really hard, so he bubbles right there. Now here our warrior shatters the bubble and he's going to follow up with a fear right there. So he's full feared and he trinkets that, so we're going to go hard into this Death Knight. Now I get disarmed right there, so I'm going to monkey blind the Paladin since I have no ranged weapon, and that's a pretty good time to do it right there. And now they're all stacked up, so our warrior pops Rex Storm and he's hitting everyone pretty hard right now. Coming out of this deterrence, the Holy Paladin's going to have bleeds on him since he got Rex Stormed on, so it's not a good time to Scatter Trap even if I had one up. So I'm going to throw a Silencing Shot onto him right there, and we're going to keep this pressure onto this Death Knight. Since he's got such immense pressure going onto him, he gets bopped right there, and I'm able to dispel it pretty instantly, and we're able to stick onto this Death Knight pretty hard. Now keeping up with the freedoms, I'm going to freedom myself here since they're committing onto me pretty hard, and we got Holy Paladins next. So I disengage there, and the Death Knight grips me back, but I still have freedom on myself, so I'm able to get away once again. Now that they're getting close to me, the Paladin asks who needs freedom, which it's going to be me. However, I tell him not to give it to me right now because I don't want to get a freedom wasted because this Death Knight's not committing on me. So our warrior's able to kick one of the heals there, so that's my cue to basically go up there and we're going to get the kill right here. So once I get to the Death Knight right there, we're able to just finish him off and kill him and get the victory. Now, here's going to be the game with Skype included at normal speed. I'm going to freedom myself first.
Okay, just let me know when you want mine.
Cooldowns are up on this DK. I'm hitting him really hard.
Scatter trapping.
Nice.
Full trap.
Throw down his trinket. Or
Keep
whatever.
freedom me.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm shattering that off and I'm fearing him.
Okay.
Full fear.
Monkey blinding him.
You got dismantled.
I popped wreck.
Okay.
Wreck storming on all the DPS. Actually, everything now.
Okay, I got next on
Swapping
Paladin.
to me.
Actually, I'm going to silence him now.
Strangulated, you know.
I disarmed the warrior. I disarmed the warrior. He's still got his wreck up. I'm hitting the warrior.
His bob's off. I'm going to scatter. Actually, I can't yet. I'm going to wait for a second. Okay, I'm going back to the DK.
Yeah, I'm on him too. MP strung him.
Who needs freedom? Like, dude, you need a break on?
Once this Death Knight commits to me, yeah.
Okay.
Pummeled that. I pummeled that Divine Light.
I'm gonna hammer him out of it.
Okay. I'm charged.
We'll throw down DK
Holy
then.
shit.
We'll throw down DK. He's gonna
Silencing.
die. He's dead.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that quick video of KFC versus TSG. In the future I'm going to be making more of these kind of videos, except I'm going to try to make them longer with video clips because I know there was a lot of explaining in the beginning and everything. So for the next ones I'll try to have more gameplay and less talking and everything. And yeah, I'll plan to make more, so if you guys like it, just make sure to like the video and subscribe and everything. And watch my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Bragcom, which I'll have in the link below. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.